May I enter, sir?
Oh, please.
Right.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
Have a seat. Yogesh,
Yes, sir.
you come from Pinjore?
Sir, Panchkula, sir. My father settled in Panchkula, sir.
Panchkula, okay. There's a station Pinjore nearby, right?
Yes, sir.
You remember we had a very famous unit of HMT in Pinjore.
Yes, sir.
It failed.
Yes, sir.
Why do government organizations fail normally? The PSUs like HMT and many other. And the private do not fail that easily as government fail. What are the reasons?
So the failure of PSCs could be attributed to two reasons that I can think of right now, sir. One, there could be inefficiencies in the setup, sir. For example, production, supply, those elements, sir. Two, it is possible that regulatory environment changes, allowing for more private competition into the market, leading to sudden decline in the demand for that product. I think which was broadly the reason why HMT factory failed or did not perform up to the level that it should have, sir. However, sir, beyond these two reasons, I think the failure of private businesses in India also happened pretty rampantly, I think, in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s. So I think it's a part of natural rejuvenation of business enterprises that happens every 20 to 30 years because of the changing demands and requirements of the markets.
But that's the reason of failure of any organization, private or government. Why do government fail? Government organizations fail. My question was, why do government organizations fail so easily?
Yes, sir. So to be specific, one of the reasons often attributed is inefficiencies because of the employees that serve are not driven by profit motive. It doesn't compete as well with the outside market, sir.
Okay. You are a lawyer by profession, LLB, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me when you have to do something, there is a goal. You have to achieve that thing. That goal is important or means of achieving that goal are important.
So I think both of them have a role to play in any endeavor, sir.
Both are important. In a legal profession, what is important, the goal or the means? When a lawyer represents a case, a person has committed murder, and lawyer knows it that he has done it. In that case, he represents him in the courts of law. Then, at that point, what is important, the goal or the means?
So a fair procedure is the edifice upon which the legal profession or any constitutional regime is based, sir. You can hang a person who's committed murder, but if the society at large feels that the process was not transparent, the entire judicial system would come under scrutiny, sir. So, sir, means are important. However, sir, in the service of means, it cannot be the case that the goal is also completely sidelined, sir. I think both have a role to play, sir.
But that is a general statement. In the legal profession, what is the job of a lawyer? That his client somehow should win?
Yes, sir.
Somehow, right?
Within the means.
By producing false evidences, by threatening the witnesses, concocting false stories. All these are done, then only the client wins, even after committing murder. So in this case, means have no value.
So, lawyers or advocates or litigants in court, sir, are free to choose the methods that they deem fit within the confines of law, sir, not beyond the confines of law. Within the confines, any argument that's made by a lawyer is legitimate, provided the judge in that court allows that argument to stay, sir.
Even if that argument is a false story.
So, falsehood or truthfulness in a court of law is not the same as truthfulness or falsehood in society at large, sir.
No society, we're not talking about society. The lawyer knows that my client has committed murder. And he creates a story that this person was not there on that day. Some story he makes proves that this person is not involved. He tries to prove to the court, judge. Then means I've gone haywire.
So, it's a two-part answer that I'd like to take, sir. So let us say a lawyer or a litigant is concocting a fake alibi, sir. Then, sir, that alibi, the lawyer would not himself have to say it. He would make the client say it. on count of which he could be perjured, sir, for making false statements, sir. So that itself might not be the issue. I think the issue would be the tactics that lawyers sometimes use to delay the inevitable result of a litigation, which might not be in the spirit of the law, sir. The stories that they make up every now and then are mostly caught by the judges, sir. And there are penal consequences also for advocates. But so I guess the much of the issues that arise come from unfair means that are deployed by advocates in when a matter is listed, against which judge a matter is listed, how many postponements, how many adjournments does a matter get, sir. I think that's where the unfair means come into the picture, sir.
Okay. You have studied from, I think, the best institutes of law in the country, NLS Bangalore, right? Why you did not pursue the law as a profession? You went for management training, not the law training. Law trainees are also there in these organizations. Any specific reason?
Sir, I was part of the corporate legal management training branch in ICICI Corporate Limited, sir. Sir, I think the question that I asked myself, I think because it's a valid question as to why I didn't practice, which was the primary purpose of setting up legal institutions as such, sir. It's there in the charter itself of most colleges that the judiciary needs to be equipped with better lawyers, sir. Of that, sir, I think initially, sir, once, sir, I was worried that without a pedigree, without some backing or a family level, I would not be able to make it in the courts, which I think many of my batchmates themselves have proven to be wrong, sir. Two, sir, I always wanted to work on the field, to be engaged in a village somewhere, to be among the people, find some work that I could do there, sir. So that was always an inclination that I had, sir. And it's not that I completely rejected legal profession, sir. I have 6 months of working in ICICI Corporate Legal, then I moved on to another legal role, sir, in association of Billion Minds, sir. So it's not that I've cut off myself from the legal profession altogether, sir.
Anyone in your family in civil services, IAS, IPS, etc.?
No, sir.
So again, the pedigree is not there for the civil services.
Yes, sir.
For the same reason, you are trying to enter the civil services.
So what I looked at was the success rate, sir. So for example, up till 2013, for which I had the data when I had to make the choice in 2016, lawyers without a family backing on an average took more time, much more time than lawyers with some backing. Whereas in the civil services, sir, what I felt,
anybody can do it.
People who have qualified, anyone can sort of do a decent job, sir.
Okay. We have very good relations with Russia. Russia has very good relations with China. We do not have good relations with China. On what basis do we have the relations? The countries have relations with each other. What basis?
Yes, sir. Sir, I think the Asian power equations are always sort of bilateral in nature, sir. I think Russia's invasion in Ukraine has pushed Russia closer to China, and the traditional divide that there was there between Russia and China that India mostly relied upon. I could hear Indian diplomats after retirement always making a statement or two saying there are fault lines there between Russia and China that we could exploit. But I think those fault lines have become difficult to exploit, sir. And there is a natural movement away from Russia, sir, to an extent, sir. For example, how much business we do, whom do we depend upon for Security Council vetoes, whom do we depend upon for military supply. There's a natural movement away. So I think, yes, sir, all those relationships with Russia as well as China I think are going to become more and more complicated in the future, sir.
You said when Russia was not friendly with China, it was good for us that time. Now, there are two scenarios. Russia being friendly with China or Russia being not friendly with China. Which one is more suitable to us?
Sir, I think it would be favorable for India if this all-weather partnership, I think ties with no limits or something that the Honorable President of Russia described it. If that is a little less, if there's more fault lines there, sir, it would be easier for New Delhi to play Moscow against Beijing and vice versa. But if this alliance strengthens, sir, then Russia might be reduced to a satellite state of China, or if not a satellite state, at least a dependency, sir.
We are not talking about Russia. What happens to Russia? I gave you two situations. Russia friendly with China, Russia not friendly with China. Which one is better for us? For example, when we have no enemies, enemies are friend. Enemy's enemy is a friend. That's a theory, no? So, which is better for us? They become friendly, not become friendly.
So them not being friendly is favorable to us, sir.
Not being friendly, favorable. So, enemy is enemy.
Yes, sir. I could also draw from the mandala theory of Kautilya, sir, that parimitra, sir. So he would be Ari Mitra, sir, the enemy of the friend of the enemy, sir. So he would be one circle down the line, sir. So that by that logic also, Russia is a natural ally for India, and it's a natural enemy of the Chinese, sir.
One last observation: if you think Russia enmity with China is better for us, you make China a bigger enemy. Who will support us in Security Council? At least now, if Russia is friendly with China, we can tell Russia, please tell this fellow not to oppose us. Please tell this fellow. So it's better for us.
Sir,
No.
yes, sir. There have been arguments made that that Moscow could use its influence
Yes.
To get Beijing in line, sir.
In line,
However, sir, if to my limited understanding, sir, I think the balance of power always works in the favor of the more strengthened party, sir. I think there are limitations to how much Moscow can influence Beijing, at least. Yes, sir.
Limitations are always there. But we can tell at least Russia, tell this fellow, please don't interfere with us. Tell this fellow, your friend China, tell him. No.
Yes, sir. In the current scenario, I would wonder how much for example, now that their ties are rather strong, sir, I wonder how much the Chinese are listening to Moscow in terms of their engagement with us.
That's different. Okay. What is the latest from Pakistan elections and how it is going to affect our relations with Pakistan?
Yes, sir. So I was just checking the results because it's a developing story. I think none of the parties haven't been able to arrive at some sort of a majority. I think most likely it's going to be a coalition government between PML Nawaz and the People's Party, sir. And I think if this coalition stays, which it's unlikely, sir, it's an untenable coalition in my limited understanding, sir. But if this coalition stays, sir, I think we might see some overtures from Pakistan, sir. I'm not sure where and how, but some overtures I think are likely because I think Asim Munir has made it clear that economy is as important to him as strategic situation. I think there's a broad realization in the Pakistani elite that they've lost a lot of capital, that have lost a lot of strategic capital over the past 10 years because of their relative economic decline, sir. So I'm expecting some overtures, sir.
Okay.